Before we get started today, I want to send out that's not a mea culpa. It's not a mea. What's the opposite of a mea culpa? That's a good question.
That's for Google, my friend.
Yeah, but I don't want Google to mess it up.
I'm not smart enough for those kind of questions.
Is mea culpa saying I give up, I surrender?
I honestly have no clue. That was your word.
But you've heard it before.
Let me see. I'll look it up for you.
Mea culpa. Is it mea culpa? Mea culpa?
All right. An acknowledgement of one's fault or error.
There it is. I would like to send out a mea culpa. Ladies and gentlemen, last weekend, Dan was the G of the century. And I actually was so frustrated with something that happened. And I was so frustrated with something that happened that I was just like, oh, forget it. We'll do a show next week. And Dan was the one to be like, hey, let's just finish it, send it out to the crowd and see what happens. We'll be fine. Everything's good. And I was like, no, I don't even feel it. And that was totally my fault, ladies and gentlemen. It has nothing to do with Dan. It was totally my frustration with dumb crap. So you not getting a show is my fault, and I will make it up to you somehow. I don't know how I'm going to make it up to y'all, but I'm going to make it up to y'all because it was totally out of line. So I must put out the fresh word of mea culpa. I'm going to use that a lot more now, too, now that I know what it means. I'm sorry. It was wrong. I should have been like, you know what, Dan? Yes, we should record. We should just take a breather and go ahead and record anyway, instead of not. And so, guys, it won't happen again. It will not happen again. I assure you. We're going to go straight into the wonderful, well, wait a minute. The word's coming out in a while. The awesome word, our awesome other podcast. But up until then, we're gonna try not to miss one weekend unless one of us gets injured or Dan drops one of his 200-pound dumbbells that he uses to work out with on his arm or something like that, and we have to take a week. I see this happening, G. I see you in there, killing them dumbbells. Hey, have you noticed how good people are dressed now in the gym?
I think it's more of a fashion show than anything.
They look great.
They all look great.
Man.
They look great, but I just roll in. I had to buy some new stuff just to have something to wear at the gym, but I'm not trying to be a G in there or anything like that. Some of these people are dressed to kill.
I spent $100 on workout clothes last week.
You were just giving me shit.
I know. I'm the worst, dude. Gee, I look horrible though going in there. I'm like, I gotta look some kind of good. I got a new hat. Got matching, a good little matching outfit with nice, shoes and a cool little Under Armour situation. I walk in there looking like I own the place, bruh.
What's your normal workout gear? What are you going with? I bet you wear some of that Eddie Murphy tight leotard with the tank top. You know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about. That's almost.
It's got like a stripe down the middle.
Here's how bad. My sweats were so jacked that if I put my keys in my pocket, they'd fall down to my shoe. And I was like, this. What did you say on Twitter? What was your good, because I've been using it this week. You said, this will not do. I was like, oh no, this will not do. This will not do.
Let's get back to that just for a second here. So I want to know, since you brought it up, because I wasn't going to bring it up, but since you brought it up, what was going through your mind, Hudson? What was going through your mind that day on Sunday? Let's take it back and let's explain the situation. Do you mind if I illustrate the situation for people and kind of explain?
I earned this, ladies and gentlemen. Everything that's coming.
No, there's nothing.
Oh no, this was all my fault. Dan was the level-headed person. I have never seen Dan be so level-headed. Okay, not saying anything.
In other words, I'm a psycho.
No, here's the thing. I don't know how this is going to come out, but if we were this changed my whole view. If we were on a ship, if someone said, we're going to put you in a hologram of a ship that is about to sink. If I had a thought of who is going to lose their crap, I would be like, Dan's going to lose his crap.
Oh, thank you very much.
After last weekend, I was like, oh no, I'm going to be the one to lose his crap. And Dan's going to be the one to be like, guys, we can actually get out of this. And I'll be like, nope. Say your prayers to whoever you believe in. It's over. It's cool though. We're going to die. You'd be the one to be like, we don't have to die. We could not. I'd be the one to be like, no, I think it's time. I didn't know that. I didn't know that I was that guy until last week.
I think everyone has a day. So let's take it back real quick. Okay, so last week, Steve was telling me that I was the guy that works at Disneyland and takes people behind the scenes to show them all the magic and shit and ruin it for them because I wanted to explain what we were doing.
Did I say that?
Let me go ahead and explain what we were doing here. And I think Steve may have just dropped off. Steve, did you drop off?
Hello?
Oh, there you are. Okay. I'm over here holding my ear like the fucking Bee Gees or something like that, waiting for you to... Steve, are you there?
Yeah. Did I say the Disneyland thing? Did I say that Disneyland thing?
Yeah, something
Did
like that.
I really?
Explaining the magic.
Jeez.
So,
Whoa.
all right. This is the simple version. I'm going to tell you about the week that we had. Now, I'm going to be straight up honest here.
Please.
I think this is good because this is the part where they get to know us, right? Rather than, hey, this is what we're watching, everything. This is where they get to know us.
Yes, totally.
I'm going to go ahead and just give my interpretation of what happened.
Okay.
But I'm going to start off by saying that I have no hard feelings. There's no reason for you. If you wouldn't have brought it up, I wouldn't have even mentioned it at all.
Oh, yeah.
Water under the bridge. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
But you scared me last week a little bit, so I'm going to talk about it.
Yes.
All right. So, all right. What we're trying to do for you podcasters out there, if there are any podcasters listening, is something called a mix minus. All right. And what a mix minus is, simply put, it basically gives you the live version of our show. The only problem with that is that, you know, I like, and Steve would agree, our setup is our little secret, little proprietary secret, but we like the way we sound. So I was trying to do something a little bit different here because what happens is Steve really doesn't ever get to hear the sound effects. And I was trying to make it happen to where he heard the sound effects. And on top of that, we were trying to get it to where we could have like interviews and we could have guests on the show using Skype. So I'm going to start off by saying that I didn't really care for the way Skype sounded. If you're okay with that, that'd be cool. But it seems like it almost doesn't seem fair to record. I'll have like the better vocal on my side. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I just said I like Skype because it didn't drop once. I was saying I was going to use Skype instead of the phone because Skype didn't drop. I just plug Skype into my earphones and use the mic because Skype didn't drop. Skype did not drop one time.
I got it. I got you.
That was crazy. I was like, dang, this thing has been legit this whole time.
Huh. Okay.
That's all. Yeah,
well, then we'll get back to
interesting.
it. I'm not going to be hard on you, I promise. I promise I'm not, because you make me feel bad just when you started talking.
I think you should, though.
No, man. First of all, guys, this man that I'm talking to, love this guy. Like, if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be podcasting right now. This was 100% his idea to start the word, and then it just went on from there. Love this guy. He's my partner in podcasting crime, okay? So, what happened was, he was being a prick. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. That's not what I was... That's not it. I'm just kidding.
I'm kidding. That would have been so freaking funny, G.
No, I'm just kidding.
So anyway, back to him.
So what happened was, this is my interpretation of what happened.
Yes.
I think that Steve and I got our wires crossed because he was under the impression that we were going to sound check. Originally, that's what I thought we were doing too. We were going to sound check, get it ready. I'm not going to bore you with the technical factors of a mix minus or the details of a mix minus. But we were trying to get that all set up, and we tried it several times before, and it always ended up with me just cussing up a storm, and it never worked out. So last week, we actually got it right. But it's also like an extra lot of work on my side. Now, when Steve's over here taking the blame, I'm going to tell you straight up, because Steve called me out on this, and it was true. I was completely removed from the show. I was so busy trying to, push this and hit that. It's something I'm definitely going to have to get used to if we do this. I felt like I was removed from the show. And I even said that, and he said it too. He noticed it right away, which took him out of the show. So this is the part I don't think that Steve will agree with me, or at least admit to. But I think so because he's a good guy. I think he was getting incredibly frustrated with me. And, we're good friends are going to bicker every once in a while. And I think it turned into a bickering situation. So because I was like kind of removed from the show, and Steve had reserved time to do the show, and I had a limited time to do it, we never really made it. The show sucked. That's the best way I can put it. It was crap. And I personally wouldn't want to put that out. In retrospect, I'm glad we didn't put that out, because if it doesn't feel right, why do you guys want to hear it? If it's not us being us and really being like how we are, I don't think you guys would want to hear that. Maybe I'm wrong. But Steve got frustrated and did not want to do the show anymore. And for lack of a better word, I got butthurt. I'm going to be honest with you. I got a little butthurt because I thought why is my friend mad at me? That's what I was thinking. And Steve was like, Steve got like prima donna for a second though. He's like, I can't do this. I'm taking away from this. I don't want to do this. Where do you want to be in a year, Dan? That's what I want to know. Where is your priority in a year? Like if we only get like 50 listeners for a year and you wanted 600 listeners, does that mean you're just going to bail out on me? Is that what's going to happen? And I'm like, no, it ain't going to happen, man. I love it. I love to do this stuff.
That is so funny.
And Steve's like, I just can't do this.
Jesus.
The stutter was intentional right there. It's like, I just can't do it. So I think this is good. This is therapeutic, man. It's catharsis.
Dude, this is amazing. This is incredible.
So I'm not going to lie. I think I was a slight little bit ticked off at Steve, and I think he was ticked off at me. I think so, just a little bit.
Here's the funny thing, and I wasn't. I was frustrated that there was, but I wasn't mad at, I don't think I've ever been pissed off at you yet. It's going to happen. But this last time was just
forward to.
Oh, no, but this last time it was the show.
Then you know what it was?
That ticked me off, huh?
You know what it was then? I think it was because I had never heard you frustrated.
Yeah, that's probably
it. We've known each other for several years now, but this just never happened before. So he had a frustrated tone, and I took it personally.
Yes.
Fair enough?
And and totally. But the thing is, I could see why it's a totally lot. Anyone would have. There is no question I would have taken it personally. Had you done the exact same thing to me, I would have taken it personally. No question. And even if you told me, no, but it was just the show, I still would have been like, uh-huh. So I wouldn't believe me. There's no way I'd believe me. Because all the events that happened at the same time, it just adds up to that.
There was definitely a tension in the air. Like for sure, there was definitely tension.
But the thing is, it has to, here's what I've realized, and it sucks for you. There's no other way that we're going to be able to do what we want to do without you figuring out how to work a million buttons and be engaged. And it sucks because that's what's just going to happen.
Actually,
I don't know how you're going to do it. I don't understand how you're going to be able to do that.
It's definitely going to take some practice, but I have the feeling that if we were like together doing this,
oh yeah, it would be way
I don't
different.
think it's going to be a problem. So I purchased this thing real quick. It's called for you nerds out there, it's called an H5 handy recorder Zoom. It's like the dopest shit ever. But we could actually podcast from this thing now. We could literally do what we were trying to do, sans people, that we can talk to, interviews, whatnot, with this thing. We can play the sound effects through it. We could we could literally do it like... We could go. That was really rude. That coffee. I was talking, and you just coughed over.
Yes, I'm so sorry.
See what
that
I'm
was
saying?
so mean.
You see why?
Yes, I'm already on point,
guys. This is my last show. This is my last show right here. I'm telling you right now.
Before you get into the, is there a way? This is dude. You guys are about to get. This is such a nerdy question for people who don't want to hear this. It had a headphone jack. Could we plug in a two-way phone jack into that, and then if we did a phone conversation, would it record it? If we had a two-way phone headphone into that headphone jack, would it record our phone call that we're having? And
like,
then
in other words,
that?
if we're calling somebody, if you and I are talking, like a party type deal, or what do you mean?
Yes, like we had the two microphones, and then in that side headphone jack of your equipment, we plugged a two-way headphone jack from the iPhone into that recorder. Then we're talking to someone on the phone too. Would it record that phone call?
I really don't even know, to be honest with you, but this thing seems to be able to do an infinite amount of
anything.
shit.
That's what I'm saying. I think it can do anything, dude. I've
been watching a lot of videos on it, and there's this old guy from, I think it was like Australia or something. He simplified it so much. He was basically like saying, fuck your mix minus. This is how you need to do it. You don't even need all that other stuff.
Nice.
So
nice.
Anyway, this thing's going to come in very handy. I'm going to take it with me to WonderCon. We'll do a show from there for sure. And so you know what? I don't even want to talk about last week anymore, but I will say it was funny. Regardless of whether or not Steve and I will admit that we were bickering with each other, and this is true, neither one of us spoke all week until we saw each other.
That's true, which was weird because I was like, normally Dan texts me by now. I was like, okay, I think he's probably upset.
I was butthurt. I'll be honest with you, I was.
But I know that you need your cool off time. Because I know if I would have texted you, it would have been quick responses from you anyway. Because that's Dan.
What do you mean, like one word responses?
Hey, what's going on? Nothing much. It would have been that.
That's not true.
Oh my Dan, come on.
Hey, I've texted this guy before. Hey man, this is my text. Hey guy, check this out. I went to the store today, right? I met this guy and he turned me on to this new, product that we could use for the show. I think it's going to be awesome. This is a way that you and I can actually improve the show and make it better. Yada, 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 yada. Steve will get me back like this. Dope. That's it.
But you know what that means, though. That means I've read everything and been like, oh, snap. That there's nothing I could add to that. Because I like to text, and if there's something I can add to it, I would. But a lot of the things are like, there's nothing more I can add to that.
I mean, in a word, you've kind of said it all. You're right. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
See, so don't take all the blame, okay? Because I'm telling you right now, I was a little butthurt. Folks, I'm admitting it to whoever's listening right now. I was a little butthurt, and I sort of detached for a while. So I'll give you the truth. During the show, this is karma working at its finest right now. So check this out. So I actually did record a show last week.
Oh, please release it.
No, it's terrible. First of all, here's the deal.
Fun for the people.
I would have done it, but what happened was, and maybe there's a way to fix this, I had my gain up too high because I had all my settings set for that mix minus thing. Yeah. So when I listened back, it was just like the whole time in the background. It sounded pretty bad.
Ooh, yeah, I don't know. There's nothing. I mean, you can clean up the lows, but you would never be satisfied with how it sounded, though.
Not my crazy ass, no.
No, I mean,
it was like an hour-long show of me.
Oh,
just
release it for fun.
No, man, because you know why? Because I really think in the back of my head, not that I was thinking this at this time, but I'm kind of like, I'm gonna get a damn show out. Tell me I don't get a show.
Yes.
Tell me something. Steve Hudson. I'll show you a goddamn show. You do a solo show, I'll do a solo show.
Gee, just here's the thing, for a fun, hilarious side thing, just say your solo show that you can even put any caveat you want in the explanation or the description, but release it for fun. Then they got 2 shows.
You know what's even more interesting? Guess what's conversation that? I have recorded still?
What? Oh my God. No, you don't, dude.
Well, no, I do because we were recording and then I just stopped. You know what I mean?
But you know what? I don't have it.
No, I have both.
Oh, release it.
Because it was on one track, remember?
Totally release it.
I don't know. It was us being pretty bad, actually.
Totally release it.
What do you guys think? You guys want to hear this? Do you guys want to hear Steve and I reach like meltdown status?
Yes,
within a matter of like probably 20 minutes or so.
Call it the podcast meltdown.
We could use this in the lost episodes or something like that down the road.
Yes, just put it. I would say put it out now, dude.
I think I'm going to store it in the vault, just like Disney does. And later on, maybe we get a Patreon page or something like that, and they're going, hey, you got to hear Steve and I just not behaving very well, and then it's for our Patreon listeners.
Yeah, especially like when we actually do start talking to Bucks and Mick a lot, I'll be like, hey, check out what we said before when we were trying to get this working, listen to this conversation. This was us trying to get this together. That's how much we love y'all. This was Dan trying to make this happen.
I actually reached out to Bucks that day and I told him, hey, listen, I didn't give him the whole story because now you have it. Now you have it, Bucks. That's what happened. But I did talk to him and say, hey, listen, is there a way that you can there's got to be an app out there somewhere that we can do a party call, a 3-way call, or a 4-way call for that matter. There was something called WhatsApp is what he used, but he said it's only a one-on-one situation. What about Google Hangout? Google Hangout. We could do that. That's when but is that like a phone call? No, well, it's kind of like a Skype thing where it's all recording. Well, if that's the case, then we'll just use Skype. Oh yeah, we're totally ready. We are totally ready to use Skype right now. But does he have a studio? Did you find out? I didn't go that far, but I have a feeling that we're gonna. Well, let us know, Johnny. Let us know what you have, what you're working with here. And I think that. Oh no! You know what? He told me actually he uses Logic just like you. Oh my goodness! Yeah, dude, it's over. So he can just record his side. You know what really sucks actually is that the big MC and Johnny were together this week, and they don't even live anywhere near each other. Damn. And they were together this week. If we would have called them at that time, it would have been great. But shoulda, woulda, coulda. It's happening. There's no reason for it not to. It'll happen. Sorry, guys. This is really more of a conversation just between us. I think we're smoothing things out right now. And you know what? Maybe that says something about me. Like when I've literally Googled most awkward podcasts and listened to those podcasts. And my goodness, were they freaking awkward. Like an argument that happens or someone takes something really seriously. And I'm like, why did I even download this? This is making me feel weird right now. Yeah, that's why I don't want to put it out, dude. That's why I don't want to put it out. But you totally should, because people will listen because they're like, oh, I don't like listening, but I have to. Everyone loves dirt. Exactly. Dude.
I mean, as much as well, then again, I don't know though. I don't like dirt into the Kardashians yet, but I do like dirt a little bit above the fray.
Fair enough.
I like when I look at tweets and someone's coming for someone's head. I'm like, ooh, this is nice. Like when they're arguing, I love looking at that stuff. And I should like looking at wonderful, great things.
No, but that kind of stuff's more fun.
It is way more fun. Like someone said, I was listening to a podcast this week and they're like, how many times have you gone on Twitter and followed a whole line of someone saying, who's awesome? This person. This person's done so many great things for me. They're like, no, you stop in the middle. But if someone is like, who gets way too much credit? This douche, blah, blah. You're like, ooh, you will click on that thread and be like, oh man, I got to hear what he got to say. What? Of course I will.
But now we've built it up too much, though. We're friends that were just barely starting to bicker. It wasn't even a full-on. Let's wait until we have a full-on fight, then we'll put it out. That'll be some good listening.
I don't see. I want to. One day I want to see you.
I don't want to fight with you, by the way.
No, but I did hear a little bit of Dan. I heard a little Dan last week.
What do you mean?
There was one thing you said. I was like, oh, look at Dan. Got a little something behind him.
Oh no! What did I say?
You put a little bass in your voice.
What did I say?
You were like, we were talking and I was like, yeah, we probably should get an editor. And you're like, nah. And I said, dude, we totally should. You're overworked. You're like, no, I'm good because you have told me that this is way too much for you. I was like, well, you did tell me it was too much. So maybe it's too much. And you're like, hey, I know what's too much for me. I don't need you telling me that. I was like, oh, well, look at Dan.
Did I really say that?
You said something to the effect of that. And I was like, oh, wow. I was like, okay. I mean, it was one of those things where I'm like, okay, he doesn't want an editor. It was like in Ocean's 11 where the guy kept on asking that guy, are you ready? Are you ready? He's like, if you ask me if I'm ready one more time, he turns around. He's like, he's ready. That's what my thing. I was like, he doesn't want an editor.
I'm going to go ahead and take your word for it, man, just because I was getting weird. Like I said, are we having a heated conversation right now? You're like, no, but we were totally having a heated conversation.
You think it was, I don't think it was heated. I think it was I wanted to make sure, like, am I over? Because when you had said something about, I'm doing a lot and this and that, I was like, is he overworking himself? That was my thing.
That's without question that I'm overworking myself, but it has nothing to do with the show.
Exactly. But that's what I said. Okay, well, how do I take some of this off of you? And I thought I was being a nice person, but I could see in the situation, you were just like, I don't want anybody else doing anything for this podcast. I was like, okay. So apparently my niceness is not coming across correctly.
Let's talk about that for a second, because I don't want you to think that I'm like hoarding the show. I actually like. Was that a burp or are you sucking on a straw?
A freaking straw. I think I got my Starbucks too early. I should have gotten it right before the podcast. And now it's done and I have a lot of podcasts left and it kind of sucks.
I'm running on the remnants of pre-workout and then I just got my good for your throat drink right now. So we're doing all right on this side.
The pre-workout's not messing with your stomach after you're done working out?
No, not at all. Should it? Like, should I be spending time in the bathroom or something?
No,
like that?
I'm just shocked when you find a good. It's hard to find a good pre-workout, dude.
This stuff's crazy. It's insane. That's actually
what
it's called. Insane. That's what it's called.
Is it really?
I believe it's called Insane. Yeah. It's
and
just
it
like
gives
pink powdered death in a little jar.
Oh, now how many milligrams of caffeine does it have in it?
I couldn't even tell you right offhand. I mean, I can go look, but that's for another show. That's for the health food show.
Because I don't want you in there sweating and having a heart attack, bro.
Oh God, wouldn't that be shitty? That would be the worst way to go. You're like on the treadmill or something like that, and you just like, go, and then boom, you crack your chin, bite your tongue off because you hit your chin, and then now you're just writhing on the floor. Not good.
I never thought about biting my tongue. Yeah, I guess that could happen.
That's something that's in my crazy head. I've always thought I had that fear of like falling on a treadmill and just like and just biting your tongue off.
Gee, speaking of, okay, I know we're gonna come back, but I was in the car with a buddy a long time ago. We were sitting there driving to Madeira, and he was talking to me, right? We were sitting there rapping and talking, listening to Tupac, and all of a sudden he starts covering his mouth. And he waves me over saying, give me the jug of water you have in your hand. And so I said, sure, here. He takes the jug, puts it in his mouth, switches it around, and spits blood.
Just from biting his tongue?
He was talking and bit his tongue like literally down the side where it could flap.
That's horrific.
It was like flapping on the side, bruh. I was like, oh my God.
That's horrific, dude. I'm serious. That's another one of my weird, like, I mean, I think, and there's probably no one that's like, oh, I like having my tongue bit off or whatever, biting my tongue. But that is another one of my cringy things that I can't, like.
Really?
Biting the tongue.
Have you ever have you ever like bit your tongue and you've bitten it like a million times in the same place? Oh no, that's my cheek.
That's the cheek.
When I bite my cheek, yeah.
Or your lip or something. Like I got some pretty good sized lips on me, so I'll tend to bite those, especially, and then they get swollen, and then it's on.
Dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, because kids now, they don't bust their lips like they used to. Like I busted my lip a million times. Kids now, some of them never have busted their lips.
How you gonna bust your lip looking at your phone? Come on now.
Now, you know what? You ain't lying. You ain't, because we used to ride skateboards, so it was gonna happen.
Right.
I mean, you are going to bust your lip wide open and then go out the next day.
You got to go outside to bust your lip most of the time.
That's
someone
true.
Bust your lip inside the house.
And you know what's funny? You don't seem like. Okay, we're gonna get back to what you're saying. I'm very curious about this conversation. How many fights have you been in, Dan?
Fist fights?
Yeah, fist fights. And when's the last one you were in?
Oh, it's been ages, bro. Ages. I'm like totally nonviolent now. Like going all the way back.
Oh,
you know what's fucked up? My parents used to take me over to these people's house, and they had kids that were my age, and I used to have to get down for mine every single time I went over there, just because the parents just didn't care. Like they used to make their kids box. Let's get the boxing gloves on. So these kids knew how to fight, and here comes Gentle Dan in there. And so I'd get my ass whipped a lot, and my dad was like, man up. So
yes, of course.
You got to man up, which, I did. Yeah. I did. I'm going to have to say 1, 2, just off the top of my dome, from like elementary to high school, I would say there was maybe 4 fights, 5.
Yeah.
Maybe 5
that's
fights.
About me. Yeah, that's about me.
And then, like after high school, people started shooting. so I threw down maybe twice. I used to not like to fight. Like I wasn't that guy. Let's go fucking fight somebody, man. Let's go fucking fight somebody, bro. Yeah. No, I wasn't like that. But I'm thinking probably twice just to kind of, but it was like, that's the thing, is like, I knew I could probably either take them or it wouldn't be too bad. Like I wasn't trying to get killed. You know what I mean? And now I just walk away from it. You're a pussy. Okay, I am.
Yes. I don't think you can. I don't think you should fight after 35.
That's not going to happen. I can't throw down. And especially, you start watching like those street fighting videos.
Oh my gosh.
No, there's a whole nother level of fighting going on that I'm not a part of now. I was watching something one time called, oh God, what was it called? It was called Felony Fights. I don't know if you ever heard of Felony Fights.
Back in the day, I used to watch that.
Why do we watch this shit? Why do we put ourselves through this? There was this one guy. He was totally calm, and they're like, "Hey, what's up, bro? So, what's your game? What are you doing?" He's like, "Yeah, my name's Felix or something like that. My name's Felix. He's gonna be called Felix for the purposes of this. My name's Felix, and I just came down, to be on Felony Fights. I just want to throw down. I want to kick some ass. That's it. Like really, really just mellow about it. This fool started fighting. It was like looked like an Aryan Brotherhood kind of dude.
Yeah.
And then this little guy, man, this little Mexican dude, and they squared off, and it was just like pop, pop, pop. They're like hitting each other. The Mexican dude gets like the jump on this guy and cracks him across his chin, and the guy goes down, right?
Yeah.
This dude proceeds. Oh my God. He proceeds to like just keep hitting him in the head over and over and over again. Like to the point where, okay, dude, I think you've made your point. But then, Steve, what does he do? I don't know how.
Oh no.
He jumps up in the air.
Oh no.
He gets a good probably 2.5, 3 feet off the ground. No bullshit. And lands knee first into this dude's cheekbone. Oh my
gosh.
Which makes the guy turn over and start making all these gurgly kind of noises.
Of course, with that convulsion. Yes, of course.
Convulsing, exactly. That's what he was doing. Jeez, and that's when I was like, I can't watch this shit anymore. That's what I'm saying.
I can't do it.
It's too much. It's too much. Some people love it. I can't do it. So then I switched it up to zit popping videos.
That's worse.
That's a whole other story.
Now, did you watch Kimbo Slice back in the day, though?
Yeah, sure, of course.
That was crazy.
Backyard fights?
Yes. That was insane. Like, okay, here's the thing. I would not fight Kimbo Slice. No question. But I wouldn't fight the guy who would fight Kimbo Slice. So there's two levels of people I wouldn't fight.
You've got to have some brain damage to even think about fighting Kimbo Slice. May he rest in peace or rest in rage or whatever.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
I forgot about that. Dude used to knock people out. And the people would keep on coming. Be like, yeah, but I wouldn't fight the guy who would, you know what? Let me take that 3. Would I fight the guy who would fight the guy who would fight the guy who fought Kimbo? I don't think that either. I wonder how many levels it would take me to fight the guys lined up to Kimbo Slice. I'd be like, no, because whoever you're fighting, you're eventually wanting to get to Kimbo Slice. So that makes you a certain person.
There's no question that it takes a matter of skill to throw down like that.
Dude.
But that's also, to me, it's also a level of crazy. Like, why?
There's no question.
Why do you want to do that? Where is that coming from? Why can't you channel that into, I don't know, fucking baseball or running or football or whatever? Like, why does it have to, even boxing? Why not just be a boxer? But no, You're going to take this energy and you're going to just go to someone's backyard and fight Kimbo Slice. That's crazy.
Who's crazier? The person who would box Kimbo Slice or skydivers?
Or bungee jumpers or any of that?
Yeah, like, even though you feel more safe doing the skydiving thing, but technically I think you're more likely to live being knocked out by Kimbo Slice. If the parachute doesn't open, chances are it's not going to happen. If you get knocked out by Kimbo Slice, you, at least tomorrow, you'll be in the distant form of okay.
Maybe.
You think he could kill you?
I think anyone could kill anyone with the right hit.
Exactly. With the right hit. Yeah, you know what? And he would be. Here's the question. Do you think Tyson could have beat Kimbo in his prime?
I do.
Backyard?
I do. Yeah, I think so, man. Because there's fights that are undocumented that Mike's been in.
Oh, I heard. Yeah, he
no
stitched
question,
guys' eyes. Yeah.
Dirty ass brawls. I'm sure of it. I have no proof, nothing, but I'm sure of it.
Bruh, he was a one of a kind. He was a one of a kind fighter, man.
There was nobody like Iron Mike Tyson back in the day.
I mean, even his game was impossible. They made everybody at least beatable up until Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson was almost unbeatable. You just couldn't do it. It was insane, dude.
I used to love watching Mike until not because it wasn't the ear biting thing that made me like,
oh yeah, that's
actually it made me kind of watch more because like it turned into how skilled is Mike Tyson to what's he going to do next kind of thing for me.
You know what? I think it broke my heart because I thought he was such a great fighter, but also that whole Robin Givens thing. Like, even though I wasn't a massive fan of Robin Givens, the fact that he was just like, yeah, I hit her. Even as a kid, I was like, I don't think that's right. I don't think that's like a good thing. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure that there's background conversations about that, and people are like, well, you didn't hear the other side. I don't know if there's an other side to hitting somebody if you're a boxer. Like, what kind of damage can you do to a person?
Well, yeah, but the thing is it's not just he's a boxer. He's fucking Mike Tyson. You know what I mean?
Mike Tyson.
Think of the people that he's taken down, and then think of Robin Givens. There's no question that's wrong.
If he slapped me, you know what? He might be able to slap me unconscious today.
Oh, yeah.
Slap me in, like one slap, he might slap me unconscious. That's a strong cat, man.
Yeah, I'm not trying
He's
to get
even
hit
strong
by
now. No, I'm not trying to get hit by anybody, though. Like, my fighting days, it's so scary because, like, there's 3 people I know at the job that now has, and you know one of them, that now have a license to carry.
Right.
And I'm like, these are normal people that I would have never guessed would have one. So if you run up on, you're sitting there be like, well, what you want to do? You don't know what this person has. You don't know. And if they feel, quote unquote, my life is in danger, what are they willing to do?
All I know is that there's something to what our parents used to tell us about. You know what? It was just different back then. Because it was. It's our version of different, you know what I mean? But compared to their version of different. But it's a different time now, man. People shoot to kill.
Oh, my dad used to tell me stories about how he would fight somebody, it would be done, they'd shake hands and go back home. I'm like, oh, goodness. Even by the time he told me that story, I'm like, oh, no, those aren't the same. If you beat somebody, they're going to be the scourge of that school for the rest of their lives. People are going to make fun of them for the rest of their time in high school. And he's like, oh yeah, we just used to shake hands and now the drama's over. I'm like,
I challenge you to a round of fisticuffs, sir.
They slap each other with a glove.
Take that.
But yeah.
And that. And a couple of these. Yeah.
I can't, like those days for me, if someone was like, hey, what you want to do? I would be like, absolutely nothing, bro.
I think I'm just going to run this way. That's what I'm going to do.
Yes. That's it, because I want to get home to my son. I want to get home to my house. Dang, I don't even have a will, G. Do you have a will?
No. I've just been stubborn about it. I know everyone says you should make a will.
I gotta make a will, 40. Bro.
It's time. Doesn't even matter. You should just make a will anyway, because you could be 25 years old and have like all your assets, and you can have a whole bunch of property, whatever. You know what I mean? Maybe you're a G.
Totally.
And you could be on top of the world and get hit by a bus. And then what?
It could totally happen, dude.
Absolutely.
I mean,
go around thinking that way, but it's true.
It's scary to think about. I might be dying, so we're going to go ahead and I'm going to be able to just tell you who gets what and get it notarized. I mean, that's scary, dude. Not scary. I'm not as scared as death as I used to be. I'm way more, zen about the whole thing, but it is weird knowing that, your son's going to go on without you. That's weird.
Yeah, that's the problem. When you die, you're dead. You don't think about it anymore, but that it's like what is the ripple effect that happens to your family?
Exactly.
You got to be prepared for it, man.
I know Dana Carvey had a great, and I know he didn't make it up. And they said about death, they're like, does death scare you? And he's like, no. Or it was either him or Jim Carrey. He's like, does death scare you? He said, no. He's like, then the guy said, what do you think happens in death? He said, well, where were you for the Renaissance? And they're like, I wasn't here. He's like, that's how it's going to be. I was like, I never even thought about it like that.
Just once you go, you go, man. I mean, the way that you and I, our beliefs, let's say that. At least I think. I'll speak for myself, but my beliefs is once you're dead, you're dead. That's it. It's just dark.
I mean, the thing is, I think, now here's the thing. I'm going to ask you this question.
What's up?
Are you, because I never, are you sure without a shadow of a doubt that there is no other side?
No. But I don't think that changes my views.
No, that's what I'm saying. I think the other side is the same for everyone. I just believe that. I think that if there is one, all of us go to the same one, or it would be like getting plugged into whatever suits your fancy. Like maybe we're in the same place experiencing different things. We're all same place, different matrices. Like I couldn't go to Dan's place because you're into, you have dogs and this thing and that, and my place would be different, but we're all in the same vicinity.
I think you have to take religion out. Just my opinion. I have to take religion out of it completely. And if there is a place, yes, like you're saying, everyone's going to the same place.
Are you nervous?
About dying?
Not nervous about, not nervous, but do you ever think about it and get worried, scared?
No. Why?
Really?
Why?
I don't know.
I don't see the point in that, personally. It's because it's not like you can stop it.
That's true, dude.
You can't stop shit. It's happening.
It is inevitable. One
of us could literally just drop dead right now while recording.
Totally. I mean, when you think about everything that has to go right for you to be alive in your body, everything that has to be working at the same time, the same way at a certain tick, it's amazing we're walking around.
Yeah.
Because everything has to be going at least according to plan in general. That's crazy.
You want to know what I'm more afraid of is just getting old in general. Because of the work that I do, I see a lot of bad shit. And I don't really want to, and these are just all normal things. This is just your body shutting down. You can't do the things that you used to. Your mind's not the same. Now you've got people that are taking care of you. One day you're crapping in your pants. One day you don't even know, your mind goes and you don't even know who the hell you are anymore or who your family is. That's what scares me. Because that's a living hell to me. Dying's easy. Damn. That's easy.
I mean, it should be. It should be easy, but I don't want to be like suffering.
That's what I'm saying. I'm afraid of the process to dying.
That's what there it is.
As opposed to just dying. That's the easy part.
I totally agree. Because, I mean, like they say, when you're born, you are immediately in the process of dying. It's just a long process. Often. Sometimes it's not that long. but your aging is the process of death.
It's a whole ugly thing, man. I don't want any part of it. But unfortunately, we all got to go through it.
Depending, who knows? In the next few years, what if they come out with some... Because I heard they're starting to approach death as if it's a disease and trying to cure the disease. Aging, I mean. So that you just are young all the time. You wouldn't dig that?
No, I don't know, man. I don't know. You mean like if you could just stay young all the time, almost to the
for the rest of your life? Like right now, you could stay Dan at this age for the rest of your life.
I would have liked Dan at 33, but hey, 33 was the shit. That's all I'm saying.
But you would be cool with this though, right? You'd be like, okay,
sure. If I could stay exactly how I am now, yeah, I'd be fine with it. But I don't know. There's too many conditions. Does everyone get to come with me?
Yes.
Yes. So it's like a perfect scenario.
Yes.
Well, then sure. Why the hell not?
But then all of them get to choose if they want to come with you. Like if people in your family was like, no, I want to age and just naturally leave this earth. You have to watch that.
See, that's the part that sucks.
Because you can't make everybody, some people don't want to live forever. Like, I'm sure people that are like 70, 80, they're like, you know what? I don't want to be this forever.
How many times have you seen this in like, vampire movies?
Oh, yeah.
They watch their family die. Like on Preacher, Cassidy saw his, he had to, we know what happened with his son, but
yes.
But he saw him get old,
I mean, if you live for if you live for 2 centuries, you're seeing a lot of different people grow old and die. I mean, it's someone put a great, I forgot where I read it, but they were like, there's every 120 years, like, no, they said, no one is here that was here 120 years ago. Brand new people. That's insane to me. When I thought about it, I was like, holy crap, you're right. Brand new people all the time on this planet.
There's another one. There's another one.
That's crazy. Huh.
What do they say? A kid's born every second, right?
Yes.
Or something like that, anyway.
It's crazy. It's insane, dude. I'm like, it literally replenishes itself every, 120, that's at the top end. You know what I'm saying? When you're living to 120. But every 100, there's no one on this planet that was here 150 years ago. All the people are brand new.
Man, the only way I could do that, like you're saying, is if I kept the body that I'm in now and was able to improve it a little bit. Like I don't want to be 120 years old and having a body and mind that's 120 years old.
No. And that's what I'm saying. It seems like if I was 90 right now, I'd be looking at technology and be like, dang, in 15 years, it's about to be so good, but I'm not going to be here to see it. I mean, look. I think sex dolls.
Go on.
Look, dude, I think people are underestimating what these dolls are going to do. Because if a guy, because a lot of people are just like, man, ain't nobody going to be using no dolls. Oh, it's so ridiculous. Are you sure about that? The closer they get to real, are you sure men aren't going to just be like, hey, I'm just not going to get married, or I'll just marry this inanimate object?
There's no telling, man. You start going into the, like sci-fi, but it's starting to come true. Wait till you get to the point of like, what if they make actual androids?
Oh, yes.
They're exoskeleton. They have like skin and everything, but they're machines on the inside, but they can do everything that you want them to do.
Oh, it's coming, bro.
It would be just like the equivalent of people, not at all the equivalent, but think of just how kids are these days, or even adults for that matter. They're just staring at their phones all the time. They're in their phone. That's it. Nothing, doesn't matter what's around them. They're in their phone. So
yes,
you add orgasms to that? Yeah, there's no...
Dude, but then there's going to come a point where obviously you're going to have android rights. Is it right that we're doing this to androids? That's going to come, dude.
Yeah,
it's going to come.
Some asshole will bring it up.
I don't know, bro. I think the closer to human, because what makes an android? Because I mean, we think of them as
science fiction,
and I can't, of course. And once they're real, we think of them as a robot. But once they get closer to being able to be sentient, at least fake sentience, if you're faking sentience, does that make you not a human? even though you're faking it and good at faking it. Hey, if they're that good at faking it, do they deserve rights?
Like, what if there's like a Westworld type situation?
Exactly. I think that at that point, you should probably think about, okay, can we just kill these things over and over again? Is this a thing we should be doing?
Sure, until they fight back.
Gee, that's not even going to be a fight. Once they figure out, oh, dude.
Yeah, when the AI becomes smarter than the real intelligence.
Dude. And that's just going to be a case of them being able to use a Wi-Fi network to download everything into their brain. Then it's over. That means they know everything. And that whole thing where Keanu Reeves like, I just learned Kung Fu. Yeah, they're going to be able to just do that. They learned everything perfectly.
Man, one of these days you and I need to get stoned. And then we'll just start talking about this kind of shit. I could only imagine where our conversation would go if we were high.
You know what? I believe that there's a way to actually play this where it's like we're high. I heard.
And you know what? That last bit of conversation would be perfect for that.
I think, dude, but you know what's funny, G? I think we would actually...
Man, remember... So what about cyborgs?
Sex bots, right?
People don't know what the fuck we're talking about, but check it out. If you want a sneak preview of what we're trying to do, if you haven't, I don't know if androids do this or not, but listen to our podcast, go back to when we're talking about that, and play it at half speed. That's what we would sound like high. I'm guaranteeing it. Dude. Maybe drunk. Maybe more drunk than high.
Yeah, you're not, like, when you were talking about it earlier, you were like, man, I need to work out because, you know, my beer situation. You're not much of a drinker, though, dog.
I like my IPAs.
But I don't think it's big enough to make a weight impact, though.
It's all about the time
you have to drink a lot. You have to drink a lot. And that whole eating at night turns out to be a myth.
I don't think so.
Gee, I think it is. Well, they said it doesn't matter. If you lay down, your body's digesting it just like any time else.
I don't
It's just something we've been... It's just like when they say bundle up so you don't catch a cold. It's just not true.
No, seriously, dude. Like, another weird thing about me that I'll share with the world. I am prone to sleep eating.
That's fine.
It's not. No, like I have woken up before mid like scoop of peanut butter. Huh? What the fuck? With peanut butter in my mouth.
No, are you serious?
Yeah. And Gail tells me that I do that shit all the time. You get the peanut butter again? I don't know.
You sleep eat?
Yeah. Not all the time. It goes in waves like that.
Really?
But if you tack on a pint of good IPA and then sleep eat, not that I'm doing this, routinely or anything like that, but if you tack on a good IPA and some sleep eating, you're going to gain some weight.
Gee, I think you're the only one I've ever heard in America say a pint.
Why? They exist. You could go to the store right now and be like, hey, where are your pints? And they'll be like, oh, it's right over here by the pints.
Yeah, but normally people are like, I think I'm going to drink a bottle of beer.
I hear you. But it's literally a pint, though,
I know, but that's an interesting choice. That's all.
Maybe that's more like pub mentality. Hey, you want to go get a pint?
Yeah, that's what I think. Give me a pint. I would imagine Bucks or
Bucks probably orders pints. I bet you Bucks drinks. I bet you Buck gets his drink on.
You know what, G? I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't.
I would be surprised if he doesn't?
I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't. Mick, we've heard in busy areas, so it makes me think maybe.
Mick gets fucked up.
But I don't know, Johnny Bucks. I haven't really heard the maybe he drinks side. I don't know, but he might. I don't know, man.
He could be stone sober. You're right, but I'm just, you know what? Maybe I'm pigeonholing him into because he does gigs, musician. Plays at clubs a lot.
Oh, you know what? That's true.
But it doesn't mean that he's a drinker. But I don't know. I got a feeling.
When's the last time you got puke drunk?
Oh God, it's been a long time, man. A long time.
The world is spinning drunk.
Just that I want to die the next day kind of drunk?
Yes, that sort of drunk.
It's been years. Literally years.
You know when to stop.
I think most of the time, yeah. It's always good to have Gail with me because she will regulate to some degree. Or she'll just let me go for it and be like, dumbass, the next day, that's also, it could go either way.
That's the worst feeling in the world, dog. Being puke drunk.
All light sensitive and the room spinning.
Oh my God, the room spinning. And someone told me it's still like, oh, put your foot on the floor and it grounds you. No, because now the apartment's spinning. The
Yeah, that's
bed
just
was
straight
spinning
vertigo,
at first.
G. That is
exactly.
vertigo.
There's no getting around that, but I'm sure that there is. Someone's gonna get away. Well, no, I don't know if that's safe, because you shouldn't get something to stop the sickness, because it's actually your body trying to detoxify itself, right? So if you get a pill that stops that, could you die?
I don't think so. I don't know. That's just some good science shit right here that you're thinking.
Yeah, because your body is trying to expel this toxin. And if you get a pill that says, psych, everything's fine, is your body like, uh-oh. Now it's stuck.
I've always thought that it wasn't a matter of the body trying to expel the toxin as much as it is withdrawing from the toxin. You know what I mean?
Really?
Like a hangover is an alcohol withdrawal.
But I'm saying the night of, when you puke that night because everything's spinning, isn't that in a situation of you have over-toxified yourself?
Oh, I'm sure. Oh, you're actually talking about, I'm sorry, I'm like I'm a little slow on the uptake here. So you're actually talking about like drinking and puking that night kind of thing.
Yeah, but if
I couldn't even tell you the last time I did that. Either I just get really lucky and pass out, or I just know how to stop.
Yeah, I haven't gotten that. I got that bad, back in college days, but there's no way I would do it anymore, because I remember how bad it felt. I don't understand how people say every other day I'm just like, oh, if you do it again, or Lord, please, if you let me out of this, I'll never do it again. And then they do it again next week. I can't understand that. It took me a few times and I'm like, okay, not going to happen again. Not going to happen again. I can't even smell schnapps anymore.
That's how I am with whiskey.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
So
Terrible.
You can't take a shot of whiskey without being like, ugh.
When was the last time I had whiskey? It was a couple years back. I was in Sacramento visiting my buddy Mike, and we stopped off at this place called the Shady Lady, which is a cool little bar. Check it out. Check it out if you're in in Sacramento. It's the Shady Lady. It's a nice little place full of dudes with. Only problem is too many dudes with wax mustaches and shit. But that's a whole other thing. So anyway, I had an old fashioned, so that was okay because it wasn't straight whiskey. But like to smell whiskey. I couldn't even tell you what good whiskey is. I'm just thinking of Jack Daniels because that was the last poison that was the last time I really poisoned myself with whiskey. It was terrible.
You drank so much Jack Daniels, you got sick?
That's
a lot of Jack Daniels.
And the thing is, this was like decades ago. Literally, I was probably too young to be. I was too young to be drinking. I remember that. I remember we had a fifth of Jack, and we drank that bitch, the whole thing. It was me and like two other guys, I think. And we went walking around at night, and there was this park that was, still under construction. So they were laying out cement and putting in posts and all that stuff. And we go up to the cement with quotes around it. I'll say that. And we're like, let's fucking laugh and let's put our names in this, man, and F you and whatever else we're putting in. I don't even remember what we were doing. This is all like just little bits and pieces that I remember. But I do remember that the next day that we went back, it wasn't fucking cement. It was mud. There was 3 drunks riding in the mud thinking that they were riding in cement.
That is hilarious.
Yeah, it was bad. But I remember I crashed out on the dude's couch. And I woke up in the morning with that instantaneous like, oh, God. You know what I mean? That, oh, what have I done? That kind of thing.
Uh-oh.
And I just remember laying on my back. And I remember yawning. And when I yawned, everything from like my bottom lip to about my chest area was like super tight. And I heard like crackle, crackle, crackle as I yawned. What that was, sorry folks, what this was is I had vomited in the night.
Oh my
So I should
gosh.
be dead. Yeah, like Jimi Hendrix style, you know what I mean? Or Bon Scott or something like
Are
that.
you
From AC/DC.
kidding me?
I threw up in the night and I puked all over myself. Like it was just a dried cake of throw up. It was horrible. Horrible. All on the dude's couch. It was a mess, man.
That is disgusting.
And that was literally the last time I ever got whiskey drunk, and I don't think I'll ever get whiskey drunk again.
I don't think I think the most I'll do is wine and a shot for, New Year's or whatever. But those days I can't do it. I like to have a good time. Well, you know what though? I don't think I do it very often.
When's the last time you got drunk?
Holy cow. Probably when, 15, 20 years ago, dude.
Seriously. So you're not a big drinker. I mean, I saw you had I bought you a beer.
You did buy me a beer, and it was not bad.
When we went to No Sleep Podcast, you had a beer.
Yeah, it was not bad at all, dude. I was very impressed. Like, you know what? Dan might be onto something with this beer situation.
But my man was looking for wine. I remember that. You were looking for wine in that.
Yes.
And they looked at you like, wine.
Wine. And they didn't even, you know what? They didn't even do mixed drinks there. They're like, no. We do not. They didn't have the license for it.
Is that true?
Yeah. She said we don't have the license for it.
They just had a bunch of beer and sodas and stuff. That's right.
That's
right. Yep. I remember that.
And I know he wanted to. He's like, I wish I could, man. But yeah, we only do beers. And I think they had a white wine, and I didn't want white. I wanted red. Picky me.
So no. I'm with you on that, man. I'm with you on that.
Yeah. I'm not a big. Now, you know what I thought? You know what's funny, dude? Something dawned on me recently.
What's that?
So if what you said is true, you and the significant other, the wonderful wife of the house, are in a interracial relationship. How is that for you throughout the years?
That we're in an interracial relationship?
Yes. You guys have, I'm sure you have faced your share of looks and stuff.
Never.
What?
But I keep telling you, man, like no one believes me that I'm Mexican. No one believes me.
Or is it, now I'm just going to post this, maybe I'm going to put this out there. It could be no one believes you're Mexican, or everyone thinks Gail is.
We're back to this again.
I'm saying, I brought it up because I was like, okay, if he says he hasn't faced any issues, that backs up my point. And so you kind of did.
I've literally never had any type of issue with this. Never.
It's pretty interesting. I'm just saying, from what I've been telling you, that, hey, Gail looks Hispanic. And now you're like, I've never really ran into this situation before. Have you? That is a very weird thing. But you've never had any looks where people are just like, oh, hey, it's you two, huh?
Not, and if I did, no, honestly, I don't think people even know what I am. So they don't even have like a basis to get racial. Do you know what I'm saying? They're just like, look at that.
Really?
Look at that urine colored guy, you know?
Urine colored?
I don't know. I'm just kidding. I heard I think it was like Dice Clay that said that. It kind of urine colored a little bit. No, but
that's funny.
I'm just like I don't know. I don't think I'm brown enough to really look like Mexican. And I don't think I'm pale enough to look white. But most people, if I said, but I've had multiple conversations with people where they're like, what is your nationality? And I'll tell them, they're like, really? I'm like, yeah, what do you think? And I've heard it all, dude. And most of the time, you know what it comes back to? White.
What's that? They
say, I just thought you were white.
I thought you were Filipino.
I get that a lot.
Yeah, I thought you were some sort of, maybe an island. You were something else, but when you were like, and I didn't even put it together when I knew your last name. And one day I was just like, oh, come on, Steve, really? Like it should have dawned on you. But yeah, you looked Filipino to me. Especially when you go full on bald. I think if you grew your hair out, it would kind of put it different. But with bald, you're very mysterious.
I don't know. It was even when I had hair, bro. It wasn't that way.
Really?
That's just the way it is.
And
I think this is kind of the same thing with you, though, man. Because when I first met you, I actually thought you were Chinese.
No, you didn't.
I'm just playing.
But is your dad and your mom Hispanic?
Yes.
You're not mixed.
I think that I'm a little bit mixed. I think my mom's kind of mixed.
Okay,
it's really weird. It's almost embarrassing that I don't truly know all of my my bloodline. I really don't. I think I'm going to have to do the me. I told you about this. I want to do that Me 23 thing and just get it all figured out. Because I think I think I'm like a Heinz 57 just of all kinds of shit.
Dude, you probably have a lot of, but dude, do you really want someone walking around with your DNA, G?
Sure. Spread me all over the world.
Oh, gee.
Come on, who doesn't want more Dan? No, I'm just kidding.
But gee, they could literally just spray your blood on a murder site and they'll be like, hey, you were there. You were there. Your blood's there.
They don't want blood. They just want like cheek cells or spit or something.
Spittle? I think that could legit get you arrested for something.
But I'm not doing anything. You think
exactly, but if
you have
they
watched too many
somewhere,
TV shows where dudes are getting framed for shit. You've watched The Fugitive and
I have
too many things like that, man.
A one-armed man.
Got to come back to reality. I don't think that's the case. I'm gonna find out.
Yeah, remember this when you're getting locked up and I call you and I'm like, "Hey, how's everything going?" I've been framed. I'll be like, "Oh, really?
Oh, really?
By whom?
Me 23? Is that right?"
That's exactly what I'm gonna say. I'm like, framed, you say? Interesting word to use.
I'm just sort of like springboarding off of what you just talked about right now. And I'm realizing now we're in the hour. We're past an hour, so we should probably get to the show here soon. Not that we can talk all night. I don't care. But something jacked up happened today. I went against what I always have told you not to do, and I did it. And I went to Costco today, right? It was a hell. But my wife...
It's the worst.
But Gail wanted to look at glasses over there. Eyeglasses, So sure, let's go check it out. Yeah. Okay. So something weird happened today.
Oh.
I was insulted. I was complimented, even though I don't know who they were talking about. I was complimented and insulted at the same time. We walked in, and I didn't have my glasses on. I was wearing my contact lenses. So I'm looking in the mirror, and I just happened to catch the person behind the counter looking at me. And she looks to the left, like at the person, and she's like, "Nah, it did that." But then I'm like, "Yeah, I hear it." Like, "Yes, totally. Looks just like him." And like, really? No, maybe the eyes. I don't know. But I'm like playing it off because I wanted to hear where it was going,
Okay.
Because, there's been people that I have been compared to before, which I won't bring up. But I was thinking, okay, it's probably these people again. Mm-hmm. Or maybe it's just some dude that works like that guy in produce or whatever, But, you know what I mean? So,
yes.
And it's going on for a while. Like, this probably lasted about 5 minutes. And I'm just listening to the whole thing go down. And then this other girl comes in. So in my head, I'm thinking, oh, well, maybe they think I look like a celebrity or something like that. So yes. I don't know who it is, but fuck it. I'm going to take it as a compliment, But I still want to hear where this is going. So this one girl was like standing strong, man. And she's like, no, it totally looks like him. They're like, nah, maybe a little bit. But I kept hearing around the eyes. And then they got this other girl that came in. And I didn't tell Gail about this until after we were done, like after we had left, just because I wanted to hear where the whole thing was going. And they weren't even like sly about it. This one girl, she comes in and I'm still watching out of the corner of my eye in the mirror. And she looks at me and she looks at her friend and she's like, "Ooh, no, gross," she said.
Wow. Okay.
And I'm like, "Bitch." No, I'm just kidding. I didn't say anything. I just was like, "Ow, man, that hurts." So I don't really even know who they were talking about or...
No, but she could have been like, "Ooh, no, gross." Like as in, no, he looks way better than that gross person you're talking about.
That's not how I took it.
I know, but I'm saying that could have totally been what they were saying. Maybe
that's what I'll tell myself. But it was just funny because I was like, I don't even know who they're talking about, but this is kind of cool. You know what I mean? Someone's like, not saying they were checking me out, but they were just, I don't know. For some reason, I took it as a compliment in my head at first. Compliment. But then I just heard, "Ooh, gross." And I was like, man. That's fucked up.
But that's Costco, G.
And I'm walking around at Costco afterwards and Gail's like, "Hey, can you go get some bread?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." The gross guy's going to go get bread. She's like, "Get out of here with that."
That is hilarious. I mean, dude, look, I guarantee it wasn't. I don't think that it's the way that you're thinking. There's no way.
And I was thinking to myself, too. I was like, damn, I look good today. Check me out.
Oh, you were all hooked up?
Had my Kangol on and shit. I was looking good.
Look at this guy.
Mm-hmm. All tilted.
Why are you getting all dressed up for Costco?
I wasn't, man. I just threw on a hat. I thought I looked good today. I can reserve that right every now and then.
Now, which Costco did you go to?
West Shaw.
That's the great one, though. You don't want to go to Clovis Costco, G.
You just got a thing against Clovis.
I do have a thing against Clovis. I don't like getting freaking pulled over every other second in Clovis, G. I will avoid Clovis at all.
Okay, so let's talk about that real quick.
Okay.
So Black Panther's coming out next week, right?
Yeah.
Let's go see it in Clovis. Uh-oh. Hello?
Oh, no, I'm here.
He said nothing. I just wanted to do a social experiment, man. I wanted to take you to Clovis and watch this and see if you could like enjoy the movie, or would you just be uptight the whole time?
I would be uptight because I wouldn't be surprised if Clovis.
No one knows what we're talking about that doesn't live in this area.
That's true. This is very regional, but I would say Clovis is a place that they would play Panther, a movie called Panther, but I don't see them playing Black Panther.
You're crazy, man.
I almost want to take you.
I want to take you there to cure you of this. I don't believe this is the way it is.
You don't think it's that way in Clovis?
No. I mean, I think that there's going to be prejudiced people everywhere. It's not like they all moved to Clovis. Trust me, I've met some imbecilic people in Fresno that have that mentality.
I know, but Clovis, it seems like it has like a gathering. You feel comfortable in Clovis?
You know what? Honestly, I just remembered something. Yes, I do. I feel comfortable in Clovis. Okay. But I did have something happen in Clovis to me. I just remembered right now. It was a racial thing that happened in Clovis. See? That time I was known as a Mexican. So this gets back to what you were asking me. Yes, I have had literally one experience with someone looking at me cross-eyed because I was with a white girl.
There we go. What happened?
It's true.
It happened in Clovis, huh?
Yeah. If I called Gail in right now, she would totally... She would totally, no offense, Clovis, I like you. I'm just saying this happened in Clovis. So we went to, and I know you've never been here, so I'm not even going to go, hey, you ever been here? We went to Big Hat Days. Guys, hold on. Should we at least try to explain the situation for anyone that's...
Sure, but before you start.
Okay.
Why? Of course it will happen at Big Hat Days. What makes you think you would get out of there without something crazy happening?
Well, I've been before. It's literally one time it's happened.
Okay, explain what Big Hat Days is.
Big Hat Days. Okay, Clovis is, I guess, according to Steve, and correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes.
Okay, but in your mind, it's a predominantly white town. Would you say?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I would tend to disagree with you. I think it's a farm town, and you have a lot of Hispanic people out there too. But I see what you're getting at. Okay. That's where all the country bars are. Mm-hmm. That's where they have the rodeo. So I hear what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. But I think it's a lovely town. I do. I think it's nice. It's cleaner in Fresno, and I like it. And I would probably move there if I could. It's literally like 5 miles away from where we live. It's not a big deal. So anyway, I've never had a problem there. So we went to Big Hat Days. Big Hat Days is just this gathering. It's like any street fair that happens once a year, and they got bands playing and fucking bounce houses and craft fairs and a farmer's market, all that shit. And it happens one weekend a year. And yes, it can get pretty country, let's say that. And they're blasting country music. Okay, Steve, I understand where you're going now. As I'm illustrating this, I get it. But this is just like, but this is a gathering though. You know what I'm saying? Like this isn't, and to be fair, it's not just white people there. And I can say that because I've been there. However, we pulled up and we had to park. You know, we got there a little bit late in the afternoon and we pulled up like in front of someone's house. And I don't even remember what the hell it was, but it was like, picture like a Bubba guy. If I say it was like Bubba, you know what I'm saying? Like you can picture Bubba, kind of like a chubby dude with cowboy hat on and shit. And I don't even remember. I feel like calling Gail in here to ask this question, but it was basically we get out of the car and this guy was saying something. We heard him say something about look at with her or something. It was something like that, like look at him with her. And I just ignored it. I didn't really think. I was like, whatever. You're a drunk asshole. He was drinking his tall can of Coors Light and shit, Silver Bullet. And he was the stereotypical guy like that. Mm-hmm. But I didn't think anything of it, you know. But I remember he was saying something. I remember. And we were like, forget it. Let's just keep walking. And then we went. We had a good time. Had a couple of beers. Walked around. Came back. We were probably there for like an hour and a half. So we come back. And my fucking windshield wiper is bent to a 90-degree angle as I'm like, you know, when I'm walking up there. So I would assume that it was Bubba that did this. Didn't like that I was with my white lady and went out there and got it was a new car too. I'm going to tell you, fuck it. It was a long time ago. I was rocking a 91 Geo Storm. Okay.
That would work. No,
those were dope back then. I'm just saying.
Yeah. That'll work, dude.
Yeah, but he took my windshield wiper, and they were big windshield wipers because remember those storms had like the big windshield?
Yep.
And it just bent it to a 90-degree angle. So yeah, that was my one time where I experienced that.
Dude, Clovis, dog. Clovis, man.
I ain't mad at you, Clovis. I wouldn't
have sent my son there.
Oh, you'll send him there, but you won't go in? What's that say about Steve?
I said I wouldn't send my son there. I wouldn't send my son. If he got hey, we want him to go to Clovis High. Like, gee, y'all better ask somebody. Because that is...
It's a lovely city. I've had no problem there. But it is... I could totally get where you're coming from.
And the thing is, I love Fresno. That's the thing. I just love Fresno. I think Fresno is a very underrated town. It's about to blow up like the... No, I can't even say that. It's about to blow up like the... I don't know, something that blows up. Remember when they used to say, blow up like the World Trade? You can't say that anymore because that was off. That was after the first like blow up of the World Trade. The second one, there's a few raps that said that. Blow up like the World Trade. I forgot what the other ones were.
Yeah, now, but even then it was tacky.
I don't think so. I think then it was like,
people didn't get so hurt. Well, it was a bigger situation. Anyway, we know what happened. Y'all know what happened.
Well, I mean, well, then what do you say? Blow up like what? I'm about to blow up like, you know what I'm saying?
Like a match in a gas tank.
Oh, dear Lord. Oh, by the way, speaking of matches, that little match thing is a thing. I've heard 3 people now reference it.
What are you talking about?
Dropping a deuce and then putting matches into the toilet.
Throwback.
It's a thing. It's a thing, G. I didn't know that.
It's something that I exercise from time to time.
Yeah, they're just like, hey, make sure you put some matches. I'm like, hey, yo.
But remember, like I said, Steve, a book of matches. Like a box. No, I'm sorry. The box of matches, not the book.
You're supposed to do the box and then toss it in.
Wooden matchsticks. Dilute. Correct.
That is crazy.
Because again, they have the high sulfur content at the top.
I mean, then they should totally make dookie matches. Specifically for that.
Maybe I'll edit it out and we'll make dookie matches.
Holy cow.
I know I like to give like plugs all the time and I'm not even realizing I'm doing it, but I'm just going to give a plug because I think it's really funny. Have you ever heard of shittens?
What? No, I have not.
So there's this guy. Oh God, was it Richie Wilson? I think, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was a guy named Richie Wilson that used to be on the Howard Stern show. And when he left the Howard Stern show, he made shittens. And what shittens are, it's like, I think this is what they are, but you know how like you go and you get like your like baby wipes? Maybe people like to use baby wipes instead of toilet paper?
Yes.
I find it refreshing, I'm just saying. Well, it's think of that.
Bad for your plumbing, but
think of that as a mitten.
Oh, that's gross.
Shittens.
That is disgusting, G. That is gross.
Is it disgusting or is it genius?
I mean, dude, number one.
No, number two.
We all know. Yeah, oh, nice. That was very clever, actually. Well done.
Thank you.
We all know that they mess up. They mess up your pipes.
Oh, sorry.
Right?
I don't know why I was thinking about the colon, but yes. They.
No.
Well, the flushable ones though are not supposed to, right?
I heard the flushable ones aren't flushable.
Like
they
it's just a marketing play.
Yes, it's not. I mean, you can flush them, so that's not a lie. What it does after said flushing is a different story. But yeah, I hear that like all the time. They say that plumbers are always having to pull out these massive wads of wipes.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Jones, you have a high content of shittens in your pipes.
And those will make it worse because they're bigger. That will destroy your pipes.
Yeah, but it's still kind of genius, wouldn't you say? Like
it is.
I think that if anything, they made a ton of money on the novelty.
Gee, we're grown men, dog. Why are we using wipes, man? We're grown men.
Are we getting back? Doo-doo cast 2?
No, I'm just saying. Like, there's a point where, I mean, like, you look at the baby and you're like, oh, you know what? He looks comfy. Let me use these. No, dog. We're grown. We shouldn't be using the wipes, man.
I don't know, man. A cool, soft, maybe aloe vera medicated wipe on your starfish might be kind of nice.
It should just be a freaking bidet. Call it a day. Call it a bidet. Just do.
I see what you did there.
You like that? No, but you should just get a bidet, Jay. Skip the wipes. Be grown up and get a bidet.
I already told you the new casa is going to have bidets in each bathroom.
Oh, that's right. The new casa's coming up fairly soon here.
Yeah, I don't know about fairly soon, but I will have a house, if not this year, then next year for sure. And I know I've said that to you every year that I've known you, but I'm telling you it's coming.
Gee, those couches are going to be a beast to move, dog.
Oh, dude, I am not playing that game. I'm getting a move. Screw that shit.
Are you really?
Hell yeah. I've done it once before and I will never go back.
$400 though?
So?
Oh, I forgot.
No, stop it. Don't go there. Don't go there. Remember why I told you not to go there.
That's right. It's true. But, dude, that's a lot of money, dog.
I'm not saying it's not a lot of money.
For one day, that's not bad, though.
Yeah, it gets all done. And it's
but
like...
you still have to pack it.
All right, look at it this way, Steve. What if, starting this pay period, I saved $50 a check? Specifically for moving costs. That's not a big deal.
8 months, you're done.
It's not a big deal.
But then also, for me, the moving isn't the bad part.
I'm done in 4 months.
Packing. The packing sucks.
They do that for you.
They don't pack for you. They put it in the truck for you.
Dude, I remember specifically when we were moving from our house in the Tower District to, it was right before my daughter was born. There were mover guys that came in and they did everything.
Gee, I think those days are done because you have to have the boxes packed and then they move the boxes from the house to the truck.
I know. I understand what you're saying. But I'm telling you, that was my experience.
Are you sure?
I don't know. It was a gift. It was gifted to us. So I can't even tell you how much it costed. I don't know, if it was like the special package, but we were sold our home. We had bought another house. We were trying to get into the house and have it all painted and everything like that before the baby came. I remember that. So my father-in-law, the generous man that he was at the time, may he rest in peace, I know he hooked that up for us. He gifted us a really kick-ass moving company, and they did everything for us. It was fucking awesome. I went to work one day, dude. I came back, and they were putting the last boxes on the truck. And my wife, and Gail was like, I keep saying my wife like you don't know who she is. Gail was like, she was 9 months already. So I know she wasn't doing it.
But dude, I don't think that happens anymore. Then, because every mover I've heard of, they'll say, yes, as long as you pack it, we take everything from the house to the truck. Because they don't mess with your personal stuff.
Dude, I'm talking, they wrapped up like, she has these little figurines. They're called Yadro. They're like these little porcelain, things that are semi-expensive. They wrapped those all up in bubble wrap, and they had vases and our glassware, and all that shit was done for us. No joke.
Dude, I am letting you know right at this very second, those days are over. But now you would probably do it yourself, I imagine.
Yeah, but I just hate it. I hate it, man.
Packing sucks.
I hate packing. I don't even like fucking packing to go like out of town.
Really?
Yeah, and she's good. She knows I hate it, so she does it for me. It's not something I expect. It's not something I expect from her. She's just good like that and will do it. But
that's what you call love. That's what I hear that it's called.
No, I think that's just what you call, I don't want to hear my husband say, oh shit, I forgot my socks. You know what I mean? So she just does it.
You know what? That's true.
Yeah, because there's very few things where I'll be like, I don't know how to do it, but totally, I do it with that. I hate packing. I get 100% helpless when I do.
Now, what I have heard that there's a cheat code with hotels. Speaking of packing, they say that they lose so many iPhone chargers that if you don't bring yours and you ask the front desk for an iPhone charger, they'll have random ones there.
I have done that before,
and it works.
Yeah, they have them.
That's crazy.
That's good that they recycle them.
That's true. Now, do they say you can have it?
No, but I didn't ask. You know what I mean? I didn't take it. I was just thinking they'd probably just charge you for it or something.
That would be pretty cool if they just gave you on the hey, if you use our hotel, we'll give you a charger on the house.
It was the Marriott in Elk Grove. Good looking out, Marriott.
Dang, the Marriott. That's a nice place, G. In a nice place. Elk Grove is nice too.
That's when I went to do the wedding ceremony. I stayed there. I loved it. Could have lived there.
That's when you wore your contacts, unfortunately, right?
Well, yeah.
And you don't even wear them anymore.
I don't know why I'm thinking about this real quick. We really should start the show, but so you'd sent me a text the other day, and stop me if you don't want to talk about this. You picked yourself up a Fire Stick.
Yeah.
Have you played with it at all?
Yep. Like I could say that I'd be like, what's the weather? And they're like, the weather in Fresno is this. Or I'll say, what's the basketball scores? They'll say, the Cleveland Cavaliers beat the Celtics, blah, blah. The Lakers beat the blah, 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 blah. Next game is the Golden State Warriors. They're in the third quarter and they beat them by blah. I'm like, what?
But did you put all the good stuff on it?
No, G.
Why?
Because it's too much of a pain.
So you basically just have a...
I got Amazon Prime on my TV now.
But you had Amazon Prime.
I know, but I had to stream it from my phone to my TV. Oh. That's a pain.
Why didn't you just get Apple TV?
G. Here's what I will say about Apple TV. They're sleeping on the job, because when I look on this Alexa thing, I don't think Apple has a talk to remote control, do they?
Yeah.
Oh.
Siri.
Do they have Siri on their remote control for Apple TV now?
Yeah. Which generation do you have? You have one, right?
I have like generation, hey, this is called an Apple TV.
Oh, you got like the first generation.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the new ones, they have Siri and all that shit.
Really?
Mm-hmm. They even have a 4K one now. I got that for a Christmas present from work. It was pretty dope.
Oh. Well, see, the problem is for me, since Fire Stick is like $40, what is Apple TV's equivalent though? They don't have one. You just got to pay $100 and something. Whereas you could either get Fire Stick or Fire TV or whatever. Fire TV is only like $90.
I saw one today. In fact, I saw the 4K version at Costco today. It was $169.
Gee, they're going to get beaten by Amazon every time now. All day long, because Amazon is making them cheaper. And it does the same things, and it has Netflix on it. So what is the point of getting Apple TV? If the Fire Stick has everything that Apple does.
I like the Fire Stick. In fact, I like the Fire Stick even more when it's not all jailbroken and everything.
Really?
Because once you jailbreak it, I don't even know, I guess maybe should I? Who cares? Everyone's doing it.
Who cares? Yeah.
Once you jailbreak it, you have to keep updating it. And for some reason, I feel very unsavvy when it comes to that. I always have to go to YouTube, and it's a pain in the ass. And it's not like, I don't know, maybe there's a way I can hook it up to my phone and like type it all in, but I hate going, okay, now you go down to this whole, you know what I'm talking about? And then you like, you gotta click on the, go to www and just click. I hate that shit. So I never mess with it.
Well, see,
in fact, it's just collecting dust.
Is it worth it? Like because I know you said that you could see some different things on it. Is it worth it though? Or is it just better just to use it as is? I
think if you like, just being real, I think if you want to watch movies that aren't really available yet, or TV shows, or, I mean, I've seen it all, dude. Sport, I don't have it, but from looking at videos on how to do things like that, it's everything from movies to sports to freaking porn to all concerts. There's so much that you can do with this thing. It is, but it's not always as easy as it sounds. And then you'll click on it, and then you'll have a picture of, oh, this is the icon I want to go to. This is the movie I want to watch. You click on it, and then there's nothing there. And then it's just a matter of, oh, you got to use Kodi, or oh, you got to use this or that. And I don't want to do all that shit.
What's Kodi?
Kodi is it's like a third-party app that you install. You jailbreak your excuse me, sorry about that. You jailbreak your Fire Stick, right?
Yes.
And then you put this third-party app on it, which is called Kodi. And then Kodi allows you to go to this database. I'm not versed in this. I don't use it a lot. But it goes to like this database where you can, and there's different ones. I literally cannot think of the names of these right now because it's been so long since I've used it. But you can go on there and you can watch, I think the last time I used it was like when Wonder Woman came out. That's how long it's been.
Good Lord, man.
But I did take it with me on said trip to Elk Grove, and I plugged that shit in, and I was watching Game of Thrones, so that was nice.
That's kind of dope.
Yeah, it was. And it wasn't watching like HBO Go or anything. It was just going to this Kodi. You know what? I'll discuss it with you afterwards, man. We'll get it all worked out. So how about we stop babbling, because I can't believe we actually got to an hour and a half on the pregame.
Oops. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you on the other side.